Hello YouTube! Today we will speak about love. It is one of the most complicated, but at the same time most relevant and interesting part of life. Now, when we spend more time at home due to coronavirus, we spend more time with our partners, which often doesn't end well. In China, for example, due to coronavirus, the divorce rate has increased dramatically. Just as people started to spend more time with their loved one, they began to realize they don't love them anymore. Interesting, isn't it? Studying the modern psychology, I came across a lot of topics, and love was the most mysterious out of all. Then I decided to investigate this topic, taking myself back 5,000 years ago. No, I didn't invent a time machine and travel back to see how Homo sapiens ancestors expressed their love in hunter-gatherer societies. In fact, I dived deep into the literature which was compiled 5,000 years ago in ancient India by a great sage Vyasadeva. And now I will share everything I learned with you. The wisdom that Vyasadeva shared with us is part of the Vedas. It is the oldest scripture on spirituality and well-being in the world. So what did he say about love? Well, love is a manifestation. It is the nature of the soul to love others and be loved. No one can take away the ability to love from you. And although I studied this question rigorously and deeply, still love remains a mystery for me. It's a phenomenon that I quite often encounter when I prepare my talks. I can tell you a lot about the topic I studied, yet there is much more to it. Also, we will discuss how the love transforms over time, and especially how our perception of love transforms over time. Why does it transform? Well, from your experience you may know that to fall in love could be easy, but to maintain love in a long-term relationship is much harder. So, according to Vedas, there are 7 grades of love. You have probably heard the book and movie called 50 Shades of Grey. Well, I'll call my discussion 7 Shades of Love. These shades are created from the lowest to the highest manifestation of love. Some of these 7 shades will surprise you. We grew up in a society where there are so many things and concepts associated with love, yet have nothing to do with love according to the Vedas. Therefore, we see so many paradoxical sayings emerge, such as make love. This often refers to sexual intercourse, which barely has connection with real love, yet in our society it's characterized as an ultimate manifestation of romantic love. Okay, so first shade or the basic level of love is attachment. Each shade has a specific personality associated with it. Opposite to the modern science, where we study love as a manifestation of brain impulses, in Vedas everything is studied according to different personalities. In other words, there is always someone who is responsible for certain phenomenon, and it's not some mythological gods or heroes, because these personalities are still alive and present today. They are beings of higher intelligence and possess power much higher than humans. When we speak about ancient knowledge, we think everyone already died, right? What do you think? Everyone who lived at that time is already dead. For example, when we think about ancient Rome, we think about some architect ruins in the form of broken walls and columns. We think about some disconnected fragmented works, some writings that we know of today. But people who lived at that time died. We think because people from that civilization are not with us anymore, then all their works are outdated and not relevant to us. Isn't it right? What do you think? This civilization doesn't exist, so we shouldn't worry about their knowledge. However, I urge you to adopt and apply not the ruins, but the wisdom that have been accumulated for centuries by very intelligent people. This valuable knowledge that Vedas offer us are given to us by divine living entities that still alive today and looking after welfare of relevant departments that they are responsible for. Just as ants don't really care and can't really understand us humans, we humans cannot really see and understand the welfare of higher living entities. Just because we can't see them doesn't mean they don't exist. Just like coronavirus, no one can see it, but everyone locked themselves up just to avoid danger because it's real. So there is personality that is in charge of this first grade of love, and her name is Rati. Rati is wife of god of love. Maybe you have heard of mythical god of love Cupid. Does any one of you celebrate 14th of February, St. Valentine's Day? Yet, according to Vedas, Cupid is known as Kamadeva and is in fact a real person, so is his wife, Rati. Just as real as Donald Trump, or Vladimir Putin, or Scott Morrison, Prime Minister of Australia. As these personalities are overseen in different countries, Kamadeva and Rati oversee the lowest manifestation of love. Dev means demigod. Kama means sexual desire. This is the demigod who is in charge of sexual desire. And Rati translates as attachment. And what is that shade of love characterized by? It's characterized by short impulses or flashes of love. It is very short bursts of strong emotions between partners. They only can sustain because their partners distance themselves. So it is the level of relationship at which the partners enjoy sexual relationship, and once they're exhausted, they need a break. They need some distance to refresh their senses. They experience saturation of emotions. Therefore, many people in Australia live separately just to maintain that love fire burning. Once they spend too much time together, they feel empty. They start to think they don't love that person anymore. This first shade of love, that is based on attachment, is the lowest out of all shades and doesn't bring much satisfaction. Although Rati experienced very strong emotions of love, like other personalities even on the highest level, her feelings are very short-lived. Therefore, any type of relationship that only has the shade of love cannot exist for a very long time. It's very hard to maintain it. It's lowest kind of love. The problem of the modern society is that it defines this first shade of love based on sexual attraction as the highest manifestation of romantic love. That's why there are so many divorces around the world. That's why people are changing partners again and again, hoping to find the right one. But they're destined to fail because this level of love doesn't sustain. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this topic and want to hear about other 6 levels of love, please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm Real, and I'll see you soon.